Diamond Go-Sti is a strong believer of the Creator, as most natives. Listen as he goes into details about how the natives survived on their natural habitat and how the Creator taught his people to utilize all the gifts of the earth.
Help in the way that the Creator does, it's phenomenal. It's so amazing in my eyes. Spirituality versus religion, there are two different things. And what Native have always had is spirituality. Of course, being in the spiritual world, things that we see are things that the Creator bestows upon us. The Creator gives us our medicine. And by giving us our medicine, the medicine that He gives us is free, first of all. But by having that respect, when you go to gather that medicine, there's a ritual that my people do in order to go and gather that medicine. We don't just go over and start tearing or cutting away what we need to make our medicine. There's a ritual that we have to do in the way that what side we gather it on, and they're once again still being in balance and being respectful of that medicine. Over here to my left, which will be to your right, I have a teepee. Of course, this teepee is not a traditional home for the Cherokee. The teepee originally were made out of buffalo skins. I have buffalo skins on the inside, buffalo skins out here in front of me with my artifacts. But these buffalo skins, depending on the size of the buffalo, they would take 8 to 12 buffaloes and sew them together to make one teepee. This one buffalo skin here weighs more than this whole teepee does. The people that lived in the teepee, there were several different nations. Of course, you had the Comanches, you had the Sioux, you had the Crow, you had the Blackfoot, you had the Cree. You have many different nations of Native people living out of that was their home. Of course, within the word teepee, it just means home. Translated into English, it just says home. And so within that though, a lot of people in today's time, you have your homes that want to reflect of who you are. And by going and having that home built the way that you want, and not only that, but have that home painted the way that you want it painted. That goes back to your identity. And of course, in the same scenario here, my name is Diamond. And by being named Diamond, of course, my colors are red, black, and white. Those are my colors when I paint. Of course, what I found so amazing is the teepee is your very first mobile home. Now, by being your first mobile home, they would take that teepee and they would relocate. As they would relocate into another area, following the herds of the buffalo. Obviously, the buffalo, to a lot of people, would think, well, that's just meat. It's a source of meat. But the main thing is, they would utilize everything from that buffalo. So it became a home, one thing. The bones became tools to work with. And by becoming tools to work with, the hooves became glue to be able to glue, to make things for glue. It was amazing, and everything would be utilized from that. You know, we talk about within spirituality, and we see people back in the days, they would put on their paint. And by putting on their paint, a lot of people called it war paint. My people, we would go and call it face paint. I paint on my left side, it is black. On my right side, it is white. And then I have 2 red marks that come down. Now, within putting on the paint, by definition, and what the paint means to our people, within that, when I put the paint on, and I'm going to war with my people, I put on the white because what I want is peace. Let's talk this out. Let's negotiate. Let's work this out before we go to battle. And then if we don't, then that's where the red comes into play, because red represents war. And then of course black comes into play. Black represents death. I go into war, I want peace, but I get there, we don't. We go to war, I die, then that's where the black comes in. But now what happens though, I find out so phenomenal about this is that the Creator will gift you how you are supposed to paint. You don't just go and put paint on any way that you want. Seeing myself in that vision, and I die on the battlefield, and the Creator comes over that battlefield and He sees Diamond. He recognizes me by my paint. That's why you cannot copy another person's paint. Now this is culturally, this is tradition. A lot of people don't know these things. And by not knowing these things, they go and they do things that sometimes are offensive to our people because they don't realize what they're doing. It does have significance, meaning behind it. It's not something we just play with. We need to learn to have the respect and balance, not only with people, but with the earth. We have got away from that. You know, the earth we always take from the earth. And we do. We as humans, that's our nature. We're always taking and taking and taking and taking. But in reality, we never give back to the earth. You got to look at all the pollution that we put on the earth, you know, not only pollution, but even with garbage. I'm so amazed to see all the things that we dispose of for garbage, and it just goes back into the earth, you know, in a different form. When we took it from the earth, we took it this way, but then when we dispose of it, it's a whole different thing than what man has done to it. So really, I think the good thing to me would be we all live here on this earth together, and we all share it together. But if we all could take better care of the earth will take better care of us in the big picture. Then we all become winners.